What is up, lab members and Steins fans? It's been a while since I've been wearing this lab coat, and I feel really good to be able to wear this again. Today we're talking about a topic I've wanted to talk a lot about, but I've never really done that. And that is why I'm not going to buy Steins Elite, or don't even care about Steins Elite, or why Steins Elite is a little bit offensive to me actually, as a really big Steins fan. I don't want to feel like really high out there being like, oh, I'm a fan, I deserve to get this and that. But there are things I want to talk about today. So I hope you'll enjoy this video and you can understand my viewpoint. And as this is all my opinion and personal taste, it might differ for you. You know, I don't like the game. You might like the game. Let's keep it civilized, okay? So first of all, I want to talk about what Steins Elite is, and then the changes they've made, advertising, limited editions, and then the game overall. And then at the end, maybe the extras. So, Steins Elite, what is it? Steins Elite is a Steins game, which is exactly the original game. It's just a re-release of the original Steins, but with all the art scrapped and the White Fox animation, anime-styled art in place. That's all it is, right? The extras of the game is that if you buy it on PlayStation 4, you get the linear bounded phonogram, which is another Steins game which was never translated or released in the West. You get that with your game as an extra, as like a bonus. And if you buy it for PlayStation Vita, I meant Nintendo Switch. Sorry, no one talks about the Vita anymore. If you buy it for a Nintendo Switch, you get a special new Steins 8-bit game just made for this release. So, going into that, I want to start talking about the art and the changes they made overall, which bug me a little bit. So, one thing I really love about the original Steins game and also Steins 0 is the art. The art is called Hyuke, and the art is just, it makes the game what it is. Really, the story of Steins is of course really, really good, but the art, it finishes it. It makes it perfect. And the new game, instead of using all the very gorgeous art, they use the anime art, the White Fox animation art. Now, the reason why I think they did this is because a lot of Steins fans, a lot of people that like Steins only know the anime, and they're not very familiar with the visual novels, and so all they know is the White Fox animation style for Steins. Now, I feel like they've made this new game with the anime art so that the anime only fans can go and play the game and still be familiar with what they know. So there's no changes, and it'll just be a fun playthrough. And for people like that, I think that this game might be very fitting. However, if you are someone like that and are buying the new game, the better version, instead of the original, you're making a huge mistake, as the original is, you know, how it's intended. And I don't want to be like one of those guys that's like, oh, that's, you know, how it's supposed to be, so you can't do anything else, as it is still released by the same people who made it and approved. But the art, really, the art of Hyuke's art is so good, and I feel like White Fox animation, I don't want to go into the anime right now, as I feel like the anime is good, but not the best. Making adaptations is always very difficult, and making the perfect adaptation is hardly impossible. But the art, I feel like White Fox animation has a lot to improve on. I feel like the art isn't good yet. It's decent, but if you just compare it, and I don't want to go into this, but if you just compare it to, for example, Sword Art Online, the new one, I think it's called like Alicization or something, and you look at how sharp and crisp and everything about the animation looks, and the lines are sharp and it's just really pretty. I feel like White Fox, I don't know, when you get used to very sharp animation like that, I'm gonna call it sharp, as you can really, as the lines really define itself. I feel like White Fox is more of a blurry mess of lines and colors. But that's my opinion. I don't want to hate. I like the show. I didn't like Zero, but I liked the original anime very much. So no hate on that. But the art, in my opinion, just isn't good, especially not to the standards of Hyuke. Now, what they've done, animation-wise, is that they're saying that, oh, now you can play the game, and instead of having static images like Hyuke's art, because Hyuke's art is gorgeous, but the way it's drawn, it's not open for animation. I feel like animation in that style would not work. So now you have, instead of having the static images and text, you have small movements, small bits of animation. But that is honestly not important to me, because if I want to see animation, I watch the anime. I read a visual novel, and the visual novel standard is usually to have static images, and making the change of reducing the quality of the visuals just to make little movements is not good enough of a reason to do it for me, because you're downgrading your game really hard that way. And also another problem I have is that they said we have all these new animations for the game, just made for the game. Because what they did, literally, which is actually a really lazy job if you think about it, is they took just the anime, all the animation they made for the anime, and they smacked it on the video game. Now, the game, the visual novel, has a lot more packed in, how do you say that? It has a lot more stuff than what they went over within the anime, and they've had to add new stuff. And I want to believe that they've added new small little scenes for the small scenes you didn't see in the anime, but the biggest difference is that the visual novel has different endings. You can make decisions, and that changes the entire ending and the entire route your character goes through. And that, of course, hasn't been done. I'm going to talk about this in a second, but it hasn't been shown in the anime. Right? So they added the anime version of all these new endings, and they're saying they're talking about it. That's at least how I perceived it, as if this is this all new thing they did. They made this just for Steins Elite, and they have all these extra new things. But back in the day when we had we always had pachinko, but we've had. If you know what pachinko is, then you might know that there's been Steins Gate pachinko machines, and those pachinko machines have a lot of things going on. And if you look at machines from just pachinko machines from in general from other franchises and stuff, they always have little scenes and like anime or video game things going on in the back. Metal Gear had his own one where you saw all new Metal Gear visuals, which is really cool. It's sad, but they're pretty visuals. And they did the exact same thing with Steins Gate, the anime, where they drew and animated all the different endings from the visual novel, but with the White Fox animation style, and played them in the pachinko machines. So they existed already. All they had to do is grab them from the pachinko machines and throw them in the game, and then it's been all new, redone. Which, again, to me, not a good thing. I've talked with some friends about it. We have a group chat online, the app that they use in Steins Gate Zero called Rhine. It exists in real life. It's called Line, and we have a little Steins Gate community group in there. And I asked some friends that have the game what they felt about it, and they said that with all the animation, the subtle animation movements within the game as you're reading, that is very awkward to just go through the game. And I'll have some pictures and stuff here when I talk about these things. And that is just weird to play, and it's just unfortunate because the original is so good. And what they're doing now, they're downgrading your game and making you buy it. You don't have to buy it, but I'm calling it making you buy it for reasons I'm going to go through later. Second thing is the limited editions. There's been a change, Western side, from the publisher. I think it's the publisher. You call it publisher. The people that release the games, the publisher. They've changed it. It used to be P-Cube, and now it's like Spike Chunsoft or something. I don't really know the name. It's Spike something and Chuni. I don't know what it is. Not hating. I just don't know the name. As I don't have a script. I'm just saying things as I'm thinking about them. And if I say something wrong, please tell me in the comments below. I might make a mistake, and I'd like to clear that up. Would I make a mistake? But yeah. So they changed the publisher, and now that what they've done first First minor issue some people have is that the P-Cube games all have the same structure, the same way they're packaged. All the packages, all the limited editions are the same size, and if you have all the games together, Steins Gate limited edition, Steins Gate Zero limited edition, and you have the real collection together, it's all the same format, so they all fit together. The new Steins Gate Elite is a different format, so it doesn't fit with your previous ones, but in the end it makes sense. It's a different publisher. They can't, well, they can, but I understand that they don't want to copy a format that P-Cube also uses for different games. So that's a minor issue some people have, which is understandable. The limited edition itself is very disappointing. We're gonna keep talking about the Western release, as the Japanese release is always very different, and they have a lot of different things. What Steins Gate limited editions do well internationally is the props, the stuff that goes with the limited edition, which I feel like makes it worth your money. For example, the Japanese releases had the Okabe's phone as a prop for the LBP limited edition. The PSP limited edition has Okabe's lab coat, an official one, and his slippers. I think the Xbox limited edition had the Future Gadget number 3 Would It Be Ora Ora as a prop in the limited edition. And as like you're hearing right now, there's a lot of things that go into these limited editions, and I feel like a fan like me, and personally, I just love having props and stuff like that instead of like more paper to look at. Really, something that makes me feel like it is worth the materialistic value that it is. All those props and big things, I feel like it's better for me to have than art books and stuff like that. Although art books are cool, and CDs, they always go with audio CDs and like that, also very cool. But going into the Western releases, P-Cube has released Steins Gate Zero in the original Steins Gate limited edition, and with the original Steins Gate limited edition, you got not only metal UPA, which is really cool, you also got the official Steins Gate pins. These, but then the official ones, I have them as well, but I wear this one on my lab coat because I'm afraid to lose those. So you have the official pins, you got 2 of them, and then an UPA, and then with the Steins Gate Zero limited edition, you got Fairy UPA and another pin. The pin isn't really a prop as it isn't something that is shown in the game, but you know, just look at that thing, it's awesome as hell. Really cool. Now the Steins Gate Elite limited edition, all it has is a cloth poster. If you're into that kind of stuff, that's cool. I'm personally not into cloth posters, so you get a cloth poster, and then you get a storyboard book. It's not an art book. Like I said, Hugo's art is great, so to have an art book with all Hugo's art in it is cool to have the first time around. I have a lot of limited editions, so I have a lot of art books, so to me it's not something I want to have anymore. But if you just buy it for your first time, having Yuki's art is really cool and really something that you want to look into. Now, the Steins Gate Elite doesn't have an art book, it has a storyboard book, and it's a storyboard of the anime, not the visual novel, which is the game you're buying. It's the storyboard of the anime. And although that is also kind of cool to have, as they're legit just, I think, prints or scanned prints of the actual storyboard in book format. Because it's a storyboard, it's unfinished. So a lot of pages are just white with some really small drawings and then a lot of description. And it's really cool to have description in it, but I think they forgot that with a Western release, not a lot of people read Japanese, and the description is only in Japanese. It's like a lot of Japanese text that a lot of fans won't be able to read. So they have an art book with text they can't read, and these little drawings, and then the rest is just all white. Again, pictures should be there somewhere, which was disappointing for some. I understand that. If you want to have stuff like that, you want to be able to read it, and they failed to translate it, unfortunately. Also, a problem is that the friends that were in my group chat, there were production failures, and the material of the paper seems to be, again, not the best. Mia, I said your name. Hey Mia. Mia, she got her book, and she opened it up, and one of the papers was pretty much torn to shit. It was gone. It was a goner. without even getting there. Stuff like that, just it's unfortunate. I hope it's limited to you. I don't want to say that it's good for you to have that, but I hope other people don't have the same issue, as it is something really disappointing. But it's really, yeah, the paper just appears quick, I've heard, as I don't have the game myself because I'm not going to buy it for those reasons. And then the box itself was so tightly packed that everyone that I've talked to about Steins Elite had a really difficult time to open the limited edition. It was so tightly packed that, you can read right there, people had to open it, throwing it around like a gorilla, and for some people that caused the packaging to bend or maybe rip a little bit, and just to get up to get out of the shape that it is. And the last thing you want is your limited edition box to have bending marks in them or little tears, stuff like that. That's the last thing you want to have. But the new limited edition is so tightly packed that you probably will end up having that damage to your box just to get to your game. And if you're one of the people that keeps their game in their limited edition when you don't use it, and whenever you play it, you have to get it out like that again and again and again, and it's not good for your box. So that's also a very unfortunate thing that happened. I think the limited edition also doesn't have an audio track CD. I'm not sure about that. They all do. So if the new one doesn't have that, that's a shame. The last issue, which is what makes me really upset, is that I feel like they're baiting you to buy this game. I feel like fans are being baited to buy the game because, like I said in the start, Steins Elite has extra games to the console you buy it for. So PlayStation 4 gets the English version of the linear bounded phonogram, which is still in Huka's art. So they just took the game and translated it. Linear bounded phonogram is a game that a lot of people wanted to be translated, and that APK, he translated it, fan translation, which is a free download online if you want that. But a lot of people wanted to have that game in English. And instead of translating it and selling the game separately, which would be a great idea, they put it in Steins Elite. So the only way for you to get that game is to spend full price on Steins Elite, which is ridiculous. Not only that, but for the people that already ordered it, there was an issue, there was a glitch on Steam where you could download the linear bounded phonogram edition that is linked to Elite on Steam. You could get that one for free. The temporary glitch. Now it's fixed, but a lot of people were able to get linear bounded phonogram in English for free on Steam, when that is only the game I feel like a lot of people bought it for. And it really sucks if you pay full price for a game that you don't really want, just to get the DLC, kind of like the extras, just for it to come out for free by an error online later, and you could have gotten your hands on it. Although I feel like it will be patched and that it will be deleted from the people that got it on Steam for free. Maybe, maybe not. I hope it will be resolved. Otherwise you have wasted all your money. It's insane. It's ridiculous in my opinion. And more of the baiting, Nintendo Switch, they've made a all-new 8-bit styled game as an added game with Elite just for Switch. And again, I really want to play that game. I don't want to play the original Steins Gate. I want to play that game. So, or the original. I don't want to play Elite. I want to play the 8-bit one. Now I have to buy Elite for that, which sucks. I feel like they're baiting us into buying the game, as fans of the franchise don't know any better, and they just buy anything that's Steins Gate these days. Or that's what I used to do until this release, and it kind of hurt my trust in the company, or I don't want to say that, it sounds weird. It doesn't make me feel good. That's what it does. It's ugh. No, not for me. What you can do though, if you're able to read Japanese, if you're able to do that, and if you have an understanding of that kind of stuff, they're releasing a game on, I'm unsure if it's only on Switch or anything else, but if you have access to the Japanese Play Store or the Japanese game store on Switch. They're releasing a game which is called, I think, Steins Convergencies, something like that, and it's literally a big package of all Steins games together, original, for a really decent price. You get the original Steins, you get Steins Linear Guard and Phonogram in Japanese, so it's not translated, so you have to be able to understand the language. And I feel like they did, I'm unsure, I think they did Steins the Loving Vows one. I forgot the name, the original name. It was something Darling. I know they have a manga of it with a slightly different name, so I don't want to confuse those two. Renrino Darling? Renrino Darling? I don't know. It's the spin-off, the dating spin-off. So they have that one too, in one package, free to buy. And they're and I don't think they're planning to put that on the Western side. So we get Steins Elite, which is a disappointment. And then in Japan they get all the originals. And again, the Loving Vows one, the Darling one, they haven't translated that as well in English. So would they bring over that packaged game to the West? I feel like that would be something everyone would be way happier with. Getting not only Linear Guard and Phonogram, but also Darling and the original as a neat little extra. And those are the reasons I'm not going to even think about Elite. A short thing I wanted to go through is, again, I feel like they went lazy on this thing. We kind of had the entire video by now. I just forgot something really quick. Is that, and this is Asian release, so it doesn't even have to do with us. It's Japanese release. If you pre-order the game, you get a steelbook, and steelbooks are supposed to be cool and neat to look at, and they're supposed to have cool art on them. And the official steelbook is literally white with reused art on it. Yeah, it looks like something I could do within 10 seconds on Photoshop. So you can look at that. Be a little bit disappointed if you pre-order it and get that instead of new art. But yeah, screw you, Steins Elite. I'm a big fan, but you're not getting there for me. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you understand my points. If you forgot anything, or if you want to share your own opinions and what's the word for it? Experiences with the game. Comment down below. I'd love to baloney. Comment down below, and I'd love to have a talk about that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.